Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Saturn in the 10th house. So very excited to be getting into this placement. This video is for you if you do have this placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. If you're interested in learning even more about Saturn after this video, I do have a video that I previously recorded where I talk more about the karma, the transits, and your Saturn return. So definitely check that out. It's going to be in the description box below. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Saturn in the 10th house. Okay, I'm very excited for this placement because personally I love Capricorn energy. You guys have been through it. If anybody knows struggle, it's going to be a Saturn in the 10th house person and Capricorn people in general. So let's first understand what Saturn is. Okay, so Saturn is ruled by Capricorn and it's ruled by the 10th house. So it's in its home house here. It's comfortable here. So Saturn is all about rules, regulations, restrictions, karma, clearance, being knocked down, getting back up again. That's the thing. When you've got this Capricorn energy in your chart, these people are to be respected, and they know this on a higher self level because they know that they've been through the most. That's really what it is. They've been through the most to get to the area that they're looking to get to. So that's Saturn. And the 10th house, very similar, okay? Very similar energy. It's Capricorn. It's all about climbing to the top. It's all about leadership, authority. You feel like you're an authority figure. You feel like you need to be recognized. You feel like you need to be seen for your hard work and your efforts. Most of the time though, Saturn is going to be later on in life. The way that I like to see it now is that the frequency of the planet is higher, okay? So things are happening faster, so it might not take as long, but it's still going to be a drawn out process regardless, okay? That's the thing, because it's like Saturn rewards you for whatever area that it's in, but you have to first, go through that struggle, that uphill battle, be knocked down a few times, a lot of times, and you guys have to basically master that lesson. So that's the way that I see Saturn. It's kind of like whatever house it's in, you are mastering this area in your life. And a lot of the time there's going to be a either unconscious or a secret or a desire of some sort, okay, that you have within you to be seen in that area, but it's like Saturn comes through and it like really, really restricts that particular area. I've said before in one of my previous videos, the thing with Saturn energy and Capricorn energy in general, the way that I see it is the energy is always like, how bad do you want something? That's the thing. And that's why it keeps knocking you down, because it's like, okay, well, did you learn your lesson yet? Did you learn your lesson yet? Do you really want to do this? Okay, the visual that I'm getting is literally that guy in, what's that movie called? I think it's Rocky, with that song, Eye of the Survivor, like getting, knocked out. But that's kind of the vibe here. Okay, that's really the vibe here, because for you guys, the 10th house deals with your public image, your career, your social status. So it's kind of like in this particular area, you guys might constantly be working hard, and it's like at a young age, and you feel like you should be in these higher up positions, but it's like you have to work your way there. You have to climb your way to the top. These people are going to be very interested in things like management roles, even climbing to the top to even maybe like a CEO position. If it's not in like a corporation, you guys can be very good business leaders, but it depends on the rest of your charts because it does deal with the public. Okay, so a lot of the time, this person is going to be well known. They're going to be well known in whatever area that they're working in, but it's going to be later on, okay? Usually second half of life is the way that Saturn is usually described. So it does take time, it does take hard work, and it does take effort. But the thing is, the more that you put into it, the more that you're basically going to get in return in the end. So that's an amazing thing with the Saturn energy. That's why I'm saying I love Capricorn people. I love Saturn. I love the energy of it because it's like these people are like, just like, first of all, they're going to be so real, okay? Because they've been through so much in their life. It's like they don't have time for BS. They don't have time for fake people. They don't have time for like people who are going to just like kind of be there like gossiping and like, just like doing like unnecessary things. They're like, okay, like, are we getting the job done? Are we, chasing those career goals? Are we chasing those like ambitions that we have in life? Okay, you're not contributing to my life. See you later. That's really the energy with Capricorn and especially Saturn in the 10th house. It's like, if you're not going to serve me on my path, there's no point in you being in my life because you're just wasting my time, and it's like, when you have Saturn in the 10th house, it's like, I don't have any more time to waste. That's really the thing, because it's like, there's so much time that's been put into things and you've been kind of knocked down. And it's like, no, I'm going to finish this thing. That's that Capricorn energy. It's like, it's so strong in that sense, where it's like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it to that goal that I have, that ambition that I have, whatever it is, even if it's like literally climbing like Mount Everest or whatever, right? It's like, it is so determined. And that's the beautiful thing about this placement. It's just earlier on in life, there's going to be struggles. You guys are basically being trained, okay, if you think about it that way. You're developing that strong solar plexus. That's the way that I always see it, okay, especially in life. In life, if you want to be either working with the public or working in these higher level roles, you have to have a strong solar plexus. When people come at you, it just like bounces off of it. That's the way that I see it, kind of like a shield going on in your belly area, right? It's like things don't affect you anymore. People say things to you, you're like, okay, whatever, you know, I'm just like brushing that off, I don't care. Or you know how to handle situations where it's like maybe you get thrown off guard in a particular situation, someone says something to you and it's like you're not reactive, you're just kind of like standing there, you're in your power. That's the thing, and that's what Saturn is really teaching you. It's like it's teaching you how to handle things, it's teaching you how to handle pressure. And a lot of the time, especially recently, what I've noticed is like, you know, after you experience your Saturn return, personally, the way that I see it is like you become an actual adult officially. Because basically what Saturn return is and what it does is like it comes through, okay, whatever house it's in for you guys is going to be the 10th house, and it clears out all the distractions, all the unnecessary things, the unnecessary people, and shifts you and puts you onto your path if you're not resistant. If you're resistant, it's going to be harder because the lessons then repeat as you go on through your Saturn cycles. That's the thing. So you never want to be resistant, especially around the time that your Saturn return is happening. It's kind of like, it might be, you know, it might be hard. It might be challenging for you to maybe accept, you know, like I really like this person and like now they're not in my life anymore or whatever, right? However it might manifest, or I liked this job. A lot of the time it's going to deal with career for you guys, okay, because it is the 10th house. So when you guys do have your Saturn return, it's going to shake up your area of career. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you guys had goals and ambitions and you guys got like really like comfortable in a job, you know, or maybe you were like, okay, I'm going to work this on the side, but then you got sucked into your job and like consumed by the work. And then Saturn comes through and maybe, you know, you leave that job or you lose that job or whatever it is. Because it's like, actually, you said you were going to focus on this. You got too sucked into this. You got too distracted with this job. You got too comfortable over here. No, you're going to go back and you're going to focus on whatever your ambitions and your goals are. That's the thing. It's maneuvering you. So a lot of the time people freak out when they hear about Saturn and the karma and all these sorts of things. It's kind of like, I always see Saturn as a rite of passage. You're officially entering adulthood. It's forcing you to mature. It's forcing you to let go of things, okay, that just really no longer serve you. And honestly, it's a blessing, in my opinion, at least. It's a blessing in disguise because, again, it's putting you on your path. It's putting you where you are meant to be. And it's like on a higher self level or subconsciously or unconsciously, however way you want to look at it, you guys have that desire, okay? You guys have that desire to lead, okay? To be authority, to be in some sort of leadership position, these types of things. And it's like, okay, well, if you're like too comfortable in a job and it's like, okay, well, it's paying the bills, it's giving me what I want, and I said I was going to work on this, but I'm not working on this anymore. Well, it doesn't work like that. Saturn's going to come through and it's going to basically shake up whatever area that you are, I guess you can say, even stagnated in, okay? Or maybe you're not noticing, or maybe you got, you know, distracted, okay? That's really what it is. It deals with, again, taking out and eliminating things that don't serve you. So that's the thing. So it's part of your guys' karma when you have Saturn in the 10th house to be successful. But again, later on in life, part of the karma is to, again, go through the trials and tribulations and know what success really is. Later on, you guys are going to be really good at maybe coaching other people, because it's like, I went through this and it's like, I learned that you have to put in hard work and effort and the things don't happen overnight. We do have stories of overnight sensations, but that's like more rare, okay, than it is common, okay? That's the thing. So it's like you really do have to work hard, especially on this earth plane, and that's what Saturn is teaching you guys. So by the time you guys are in that second half of life, you're probably going to be working with the public in one way, shape, or form. This can manifest so many ways. It really does depend on the rest of your natal chart. It can be things like a politician. Maybe you're going to be a lawyer. Maybe you're going to become a judge. Maybe you're going to be like an engineer and just going to be very well known in your field. I think it really depends on the rest of your natal chart. But most of the time you do end up in some sort of role where you are working with the public. You are well known for what you do because you've perfected, you've mastered the craft, and you're able to take the heat. That's the term I've been picking up on recently, especially with the solar plexus. It's like you have to learn to be able to take the heat and not allow it to affect you when you have this placement, Saturn in the 10th house. Now, one more thing I do want to mention before I wrap up this video is that most of the time Saturn does deal with the father. The way that I like to look at it is it's whoever was the dominant masculine role in your household when you were growing up. So whoever took on that role, that's going to be your authoritative figure. So the thing is with this energy, Saturn in the 10th, it's like you want to be the authority. You don't want someone to be the authority above you, because there's usually some sort of friction that takes place when you were growing up with the initial caregiver, whoever was that dominant masculine role. Something important to keep in mind, and you might notice this, okay, as a trend throughout your life, where it's like you just don't get along with authority. But it's like part of the lesson is that, you know, sometimes people who are already in roles where you want to be can actually help you guys get to that place, learning from them and all these types of things. Something that's been coming through as I've been doing this Saturn series is that, first of all, our relationship with responsibility is closely tied with our childhood and the types of responsibilities that were placed upon us. So whatever area that Saturn, you know, deals with for you guys is going to be the 10th house. That's the area where you may have had a lot of responsibility in. So for you guys, maybe there was a lot of responsibility in the area of maybe you guys had to grow up really fast, help out the household, maybe start working when you were young, maybe take care of other siblings. Could have manifested so many different ways. But that's the thing. So it's like, you know, the relationship with responsibility is closely tied to your success in life. That's the whole thing here, because it's like maybe you took on a lot of responsibility when you were younger, and it's like now it's like I don't want responsibility in that area. But then there's the aspect of yourself that does, in terms of career and working with the public and all these types of things. So just some things to keep in mind. And another thing is the relationship and the dynamic with the authority is going to be whatever your dynamic was with the parents or parent, or their lack of when you guys were growing up. So whoever was your authority when you were growing up, those are the people that may have created that resistance within you. So that could be something that you guys have to work through to actually activate that 10th house, because it's conjunct your midheaven and you have Saturn in the 10th. So it's like whatever career you want to activate, you are going to actually have to go through a lot of these lessons to activate that part of your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video here on Saturn in the 10th house. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. You guys can let me know in the comments below as well. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.